What's been the highlight?
Wow.
It's how people like Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Messi, they grow up playing the game. And when you go and see it on the telly and then you see it in person, it blows you away.
Do you remember when you looked at me and you went, Ben, I think this is the Uber model for sport? And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Ollie. Your analogy is incredible. And now, that's almost exactly what we have, isn't it?
Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of the YesRef Podcast with me, Olly Ballinger.
And me, Ben Williamson.
Ben, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good. Nervous. I have no idea what this is going to do or what it's going to look like. But yeah, podcast. Let's do it.
Yeah, really excited to talk about sports officiating. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background as a referee?
A bit about me. Okay. So I am 16 years into my refereeing career, I think. 2005, 2006, rings a bell. Now a National League assistant referee, so operate on the National League and Premier League reserves, mainly as an assistant referee, but fortunate enough that I can still referee Supply League football when they're really short.
And what's Supply League?
Supply League. What is Supply League? How do you describe that? Like, is it the first run of like semi-pro football? I think?
Okay. Yeah, well, that gives.
Yeah, it's not county league. It's a bit higher than county league, but we ain't quite full time getting paid yet.
No, and it gives our audience the kind of level in which you can still referee.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Tremendous.
Started back in 2006, something like that. Just worked my way through up from level 6. Level 7 is when you start at 16. 6, 5, couple of years at each. Got to level 4. Spent 5. I think it took me 5 or 6 years to get off level 4. Difficult level of football. Up to level 3. Couple of years as a level 3. I did my 4 years, and that's when they introduced you have to choose if you want to referee on the run the line path, which I despised because I really enjoyed doing both. But took the assistant refereeing route because I was fortunate enough to be on the National League Premier Division at the time.
Okay, so
ended off refereeing.
I would say you've had quite a long career.
Yeah, hopefully a little bit more to go as well, and hopefully not near the end of it.
No. What's been the highlight?
Wow, do I have to just choose one?
Well, what stands out when you think about your career?
I was really fortunate that during when I was actually actively refereeing, that I refereed round on tournaments abroad. Not sure if you've heard of them.
I've heard of tournaments abroad.
Yeah. So I was really fortunate enough to referee across different locations. The highlight for me was the Great Wall Cup in Beijing.
Okay.
Where I was selected by the Beijing FA to referee the under-18 Super Elite category final. Fantastic. 2 Australian teams, so it was really helpful that they spoke English, with 2 assistant referees that didn't speak English, which was a real challenge in itself, and then a 4th official from Wales who could speak English, so that was very helpful. But that was the pinnacle of my refereeing. It was fantastic.
Awesome. And what's still left to do for you in the refereeing world?
So for me, I look at the short-term goal. So can I be better on my next game than I was on my last game? Ultimately, I got an offside wrong on my last game, so hopefully I think I could try and get a little bit better.
Not ideal.
It was a VAR decision. I think the video shows his left heel was offside. It's not a huge error, and I got no advice from the observer, so it's not like I'd done anything major wrong. So can I rectify that next time? Can I get that out of my head? Because that's the hard thing to do, going into a game knowing my last one was a mistake.
Yeah.
And then the further away short term, the medium term goal, I think would be Football League, because that's my next promotion.
Good. Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, pal.
No problems.
Enough about me. A little bit about you.
Yeah. So I think we qualified at a similar time. I was did the course back in 2005, football referees course at the age of 14, and it was there to help my uncle out, a little bit of pocket money, and it was quite good pocket money. And then went through the levels. And probably got to level 4 and was at level 4 for maybe 6 or 7 years. 2007, I was introduced to the game futsal and did the referees course with Roger Vaughan.
Going to interrupt you already. Futsal?
Yeah, futsal is FIFA's approved version of indoor 5-a-side football. So you play it with a size 4 ball. It's got a reduced bounce, hockey-sized goals. And it's how people like Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Messi, they grow up playing the game. So, and that's where you get all of the trickery and everything. So, game is very fast paced. And as a futsal referee, you'll probably make a decision every 2 to 3 seconds, where in football it's more like every 5 to 6 seconds. So, like that's the comparison for refereeing. And so, like 2015, 2016, I had a decision to make personally, just because nobody forced it upon me, but like work, refereeing, having a life outside of football, like, and then try to referee 2 disciplines like football and futsal. Like, it's a lot. So I thought I'll take a step back to level 5 and I'll focus on futsal. And this year, 2023, I was invited to the FIFA list for futsal referees. So,
I was waiting to see how long it took you to get that information, but a fantastic achievement, right?
oh yeah, it's like blown me away. And I've been fortunate enough to be out twice with 2 very experienced futsal referees who have been able to show me the ropes. And like, it is just a different level. And when you go and see it on the telly and then you see it in person, like it blows you away. And it does like make those 18 years like worth it. Like, it really makes it worth something. So yeah, I feel very lucky, and hopefully I can have a reasonable length of time.
Love that. That's really cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Long overdue, because I think it's been a while since we've had a new English FIFA futsal referee. Is that fair?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So 2015 was the last time someone got invited onto the list. So 2023 today, and we're it's great for England. It's great for English futsal. Let's go and see what we can do.
Highlight so far? Getting the badge?
It's probably the first experience.
Yeah.
Going out on a UEFA trip. That's by far, just because it's everything's so different. Right? Yes, it's different, but like the professionalism is of a completely new level. So it's really exciting. And let's see where we go with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
However, Ben, as much as I'd love to sit here and talk about our careers, I think we should talk about why we're here and explain
And what YesRef is.
And our experience. So YesRef is a digital management platform for sports officials and to make it easier for all stakeholders in the game, and also for multiple sports. Ben and I had an idea going back for 4.5 years now, and we wanted to, from our own experiences of refereeing in the game, we wanted to make that easier. We had this wonderful little nuance that got in the way of COVID. It's always fun trying to start a business when a pandemic's in the middle of it, but I think it helped change the way we thought about the business. So we've been on a journey now for the last 4 years, building YesRef to what it is today. And what it is for sports organizations is a platform that allows them to access a network of sports officials qualified across 18 different sports that we've got on the platform today. They can see all of the information around affiliation, DBS, safeguarding. We've got the protections in there with parents and guardians. You then have the luxury and the opportunity to appoint your sports officials from your own personal network. And then we've got some exciting solution in place for cashless payments. So digitally through the platform, you can pay your sports officials, you make the payment to YesRef, and YesRef handles the rest. It makes it really easy for you. And we've not finished. We've got lots more to do. So what do sports officials get out of YesRef, Ben?
So Sports Officials is a fantastic tool. Remember all the times you're getting texts and emails and phone calls every day of the week. Can you referee? And people pass messages around and your contact details. No longer does that happen. So your profile, you set up your preferences, so preferred categories, travel distance, and the sports you like to officiate. As Olly said, 18 different sports on the platform. The system then will notify you of any games or events that are available to you that meet your criteria. So if you only want under 12s football 5 miles from your house, that is all YesRef will notify you about. But ultimately, it will give you a single list of opportunities for you to go and officiate. Again, as Olly mentioned, the cashless payments means that no longer do you need to share your bank details with every single club and every single university that you go and officiate at. You just get the money in your bank directly from the YesRef platform.
Sounds really easy, Ben.
It's too easy, but it's great.
Sure. And you can pick up all your appointments, close your availability, update your availability, and communicate with everyone whilst you're doing it, right?
Do you remember back in the day when we were talking about what this was going to do? Did you ever think we'd get this far?
I think there's a small part of you that always thinks you're going to do something. What you don't understand is how the theoretical vision turns into a vision that becomes reality.
A reality. I think that's the important bit, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. But we're only what 2 and a bit years into the platform, so it's been fun.
So is it only clubs and referees or clubs and officials that can join the platform, or is it open to more?
No. This is open to the whole network. So we have chairmen, secretaries, treasurers of clubs. We have business owners and venue managers from a business perspective. We have educational members of staff involved in the platform, from sports coordinators to the finance departments. We also include professional clubs. And then we have this variety of level within the governing bodies, from local governing bodies to local referee societies to national governing bodies. So it really is quite broad. And ultimately, our goal has always been to put everything related to sports officiating in one place.
Do you remember when you looked at me and you went, Ben, I think this is the Uber model for sport? And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Ollie. Your analogy is incredible. And now that's almost exactly what we have, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that is certainly the best way to explain it, to give people a reference into what our platform can do today. So
I think that resonates with a lot of people, isn't it? The Uber model. So I need a referee. I put the game on the platform. A referee will go, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah. But that's just one facet of what we do. Because we have this whole management thing, we have the whole payment thing, we have some really exciting features coming up soon, which we won't share with you just now. But
go on, give us a little sneak peek, just a little something.
Okay, so there's a particular feature that we've wanted to do for some time, and it will be out in the next few weeks. I mean, it might even be out
by the time this goes live.
By the time this goes live, but it has a little something to do with rating the sports official. So this will become YesRef ratings. This will be rating the sports official. This will be rating the sports organisation. It is a two-way street. It is not one way, and it's multifaceted insofar as multiple people can rate their experience at the game, and they can rate their experience of the sports official. But this is not performance-related ratings. This is about, is everyone enjoying their experience? Has it been positive? Have people been welcoming? Have they had a cup of tea? Has the club been welcoming? Has the players behaved well? Spectators. It's the experience that we as sports officials have, but also the experiences that sports organisations and sports providers have. So watch this space, and maybe I've given you too much already, but
that was far more than I thought you were going to give away, but no problem. It, like I said, might be out already. I think it's probably fair that we should share our mission statement, because I think we're really clear on what the YesRef mission is.
So our mission is to improve the recruitment, the retention, and the payments of sports officials across the globe for all stakeholders in sport. That's what we're doing, Ben.
That is what we're doing. And 18 sports so far.
Yeah.
We've got some exciting conversations coming up with another couple of national governing bodies, which we won't mention. That's not okay to talk about just yet, but that's exciting. So we really, really are on a journey to get this done, aren't we?
The sports officiating landscape is changing, and it's really exciting to be pioneering that journey.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I could sit here and talk about YesRef all day if it's not clear already, as I'm sure you could, but we're here to talk about our podcast.
We are, yeah, the new one,
episode 1. So we'd like to tell you why we're doing the podcast, and this podcast is not a YesRef podcast in the sense of we're just talking about the platform. This is a YesRef podcast, and the purpose of the podcast is to talk to a number of different guests from a number of different sports, and we want to talk about the transparency around sports officiating, and we want to share with you the different experiences that people have across sport in the eyes of sports officiating. So to give you an example, like we would really like to understand from chairmen of clubs, from administrators of competitions, from local governing bodies, but also from those team managers, from the parent guardians, from the referees. What is it about sports officiating that you've really enjoyed? And this isn't just a podcast about football and futsal. This is a podcast about all of the different sports, because one of the things that I have absolutely loved about this journey so far is how we have learned so much about so many different sports, and how actually you have an understanding of how refereeing works in football and futsal, but you go and look at another sport like korfball, for example.
Oh, this is one of your favourites, isn't it? Korfball.
And it just is.
What is korfball?
And it's so different.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
yeah,
but and the exciting thing is, like, you can take things in other sports and transfer them across into the platform, and then allow everyone to benefit from those nuances and those differences.
I think the benefit for me so far is like, I think the problems are generally the same around managing sports officials is the same. Are you available? Are you not? Are you qualified enough or not? Do you have the preferences? Is this what you want to be officiating? We put that across 19 sports, and a lot of those problems are similar.
There's lots of similarities, and those similarities are similar geographically, both locally and nationally. You know, when we talk to people in Australia and we talk to people in the US, there are similarities in it. But you dive deeper, and there are nuances.
There is. Yeah, it's very fair. Very fair.
And they do things differently, right?
They do.
So this podcast is hopefully something that you'll enjoy. We almost have no idea what it's going to be like. We don't know if you're going to enjoy it, but we have got a really exciting panel of guests already lined up.
Such as who? Give us an example of a couple of them, can you?
Yeah, so we've got people from different backgrounds. I'm not going to name names, but like to give you an idea, we've got a psychologist who's going to give us a perspective on sports officiating.
Yeah.
We've got people from different countries giving us perspective on how they've officiated in their own country.
Yeah, and in their own sport.
Yes. And then we've got some fitness-related topics. We've got mental health. And we've got a couple of different sports also. So like, it's a really broad range. We're excited to hear what you think, but we're also excited to hear what guests you'd like us to talk about from a multitude of different sports and from a number of different hats. And what's really interesting is the guests that we do have lined up, they wear more than one hat.
They do. All of them do. Generally, all of them do, don't they?
Yeah. So it's interesting how those experiences bleed, and you know how they're understood, and like even understanding coaches, you know,
the mindset and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, and how they manage referees or how they view referees.
What's important to understand is everyone's got a different perception of the game, whatever sport it is, whatever. Everyone has a different input, and I think we don't really talk about enough openly in sport around everybody else's different role. Yeah. And I think if people had a better understanding of other people, I think the world, sport, politics, whatever it is, will go a lot smoother if people had a little bit more understanding of the other side of the coin, the other person, the other people involved.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I think that's one of our core values with YesRef. Is all about transparency and providing everybody with the opportunity to see information and allow them to dissect that information. And I think what we're trying to do here with the podcast is very similar, you know, insofar as we want to share the experiences that other people have had in sports officiating. It's been an incredible journey personally in terms of sports officiating, like, you know, the life experience and the transferable skills that you gain. But maybe one thing I've really not had is understanding the different perspectives from other people, right? You know, like you don't get the time to always sit there and go, okay, coach, what did you think of the game today? What was your perspective? Or even speaking
going back to the admin side of it, right? Like, when I used to accept games, I used to go and accept the games when it was appropriate and I had time and it was right for me, without having any thought process that the appointments officer or the other person that's waiting to know if I can do that game or not is desperate for that information. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just accept them whenever I want to accept them.
Yeah.
And if that meant I accepted them the day before, I had no ability to go, who else does this affect? And I think having conversations on this podcast might just make people accept their games a little bit quicker, or do some admin a little bit better, or ask a question to a coach. What did you think? Because coaches have so much experience in the game, and if we're new referees starting in our journey, we could gather some information from somebody that's got loads of experience.
Yeah.
Do we do that?
Some of us do, depending on our experiences. Some of us don't. And I think what we're trying to do is just share those experiences with everyone and see if it's been really interesting. I mean, it's certainly been interesting for me to understand the different perspectives, because it doesn't have to make you go away and think about the different things that you can that you just consider.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Just having some consideration about it. If that changes some actions and makes life a bit easier for a few more people, it's probably a good thing to do, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, what are the main topics we're going to be covering on our YesRef podcast?
So the key topics for us are going to be sports officiating recruitment, sports officials of recruitment.
Yeah.
We also want to understand sports official retention and the opportunity to retain sports officials in the game, in sport. And then also the management and the administration that goes along with sports officiating. These are going to be the key topics for us. And I think when you start asking individuals wearing different hats, you get really different responses to the what the challenges are and what some of the solutions look like moving forward. So I think these are the key things. But we're doing this podcast for you. So if you want us to talk about things that are a little bit different, some different topics, or there's a couple of guests that you'd really like to see on this podcast, we're very open, aren't we, Ben?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to speak to more people. So anyone you want to have their insight with, let us know, and we'll see what we can do to get them on the podcast.
We have really enjoyed the conversations that we have recorded so far on this podcast. So I don't think you're going to be disappointed by what we're going to share with you. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be insightful. There's going to be things that I think are going to make you think, things that I think you're going to turn around and go, whoa, didn't know that.
That's amazing, right?
Or I didn't like it. Whoa, didn't like hearing that, So there's going to be some really interesting points for discussion. Now, in terms of how this is going to work, we're going to give you a new podcast every Monday morning. So we're going to transform those dull, boring Monday mornings back to work. And it's going to be the YesRef podcast and a new guest. So hopefully we can dangle a little bit of spice into the Monday morning, aren't we, Ben?
Hopefully, mate. Hopefully. How much time do we need? How long is an episode going to be?
Yes, so we're going to keep it within the sweet spot of 30 to 40 minutes. There might be a couple of exceptions to the rule where there's a particular episode that's a bit longer.
It's probably because I can't shut up and I keep asking loads of questions, right?
I mean, it'd be fair to say you can talk, Ben. There's absolutely no denying that.
But that's a compliment, so thanks, mate.
No. It's certainly not a negative thing. No. So yeah, Monday mornings. That's going to be key.
Particular time, or they'll just be out at some point Monday morning?
We'll keep you on your toes. They'll be out Monday morning, okay. And they will be across all of the main platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube.
You will be able to watch us. Yes, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing, but we will be available on YouTube, and then we'll be available on all of the other platforms. So whatever your podcasting platform is, it will be there and available for you.
But you must like, share, and comment on our podcast to keep the dream alive. So please make sure you do that.
And give us that 5-star review. It'll really help us out. And hopefully you can help guide us with your comments on what you'd like to see next. Now, this is also going to be a new experience for Ben and I. I can't say that we've done this before.
Nope.
What we do know is the passion that we have for sports officiating and the passion that we have for technology, and combining those two things. And I think
we've got YesRef. Combining those two things is exactly how we have YesRef.
Yeah,
passion for technology and passion for sport, right?
Yeah, for sure. And we want to talk to people, talk to guests, understand their experiences in sports officiating, and we're really excited to share that with you. But please, this isn't perfection. This isn't £1 million production. This is Ben and I wanting to talk to you about sports officiating and explain to you how we feel, and we hope that it shares something with you and there's value in it. Okay, so season 1, Ben, what does it look like?
So season 1 will be 10 episodes released between now and Christmas, with a short break, and season 2 will be launching in the new year.
Great. So we've got quite a broad range of guests
We have
for season 1, including psychologists, fitness. We've got some different sports. We've got different people in sport.
ex-officials,
Yes, we've got sports officials who used to
sports
referee.
official managers.
Yes, we've got coaches as well.
Have a coach. Yeah.
So we've got some really exciting guests for season 1. We think you're really going to like them and enjoy them. And we will take your feedback on board when it comes to new guests. We will bring them on and we will put them into the upcoming seasons. We're really excited, aren't we, Ben?
It should be good, mate. Yeah, it'll absolutely be a journey. And as you said, this is not a £1 million production. It's just sharing our passion for sport and sports officiating to make the game better.
Yeah, something we love, something hopefully you'll love, and let's see where we go.
So that's it for episode 1. We hope you got you interested. We hope you like it, and we really, really look forward to releasing our next several episodes of season 1.
Thank you for listening. I've been Olly.
I'm still Ben,
and this is the YesRef Podcast.